Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's edition of the Just Us Review. We'll take our favorite shows, whether it be in the realm of supernatural, horror, sci-fi. We don't care just as long as it's content. And if it's good, it's great. And if it's terrible, goddamn it, you don't hear about it. And today, that party bus is going to keep on moving with Black Lightning. That's right. We saw a hero. He was black. That's when we knew Black Knight, you know.
That party bus got a flat tire.
So Black Lightning has been continuing on, and I think they have how many episodes left?
One more.
Jesus Christ, and they've been chugging along.
Don't even feel like it.
So going across the room to give a breakdown. Wait, before we go around the room, just want to give a quick breakdown. So they find out that Ishmael, or whatever his name is, Payless Ninja, is actually from the League of Assassins, and he's there to kill Metas.
Shit, we already.
You mean that thing we learned 5 episodes ago?
Exactly. Tobias is finally unleashing his end game. One episode for the finale.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Jen, even though she's changed bodies, she's inherited her old stupidity. Painkiller's done painkiller things, and Freeland has not learned. So let's go ahead and pick it up from the top. Let's talk about some of the goods of this episode. Who want to give that shout out first?
I'm really trying.
I like Thunder's new outfit for what it's worth.
Okay, so how? Okay, it's not bad. I just have a question. Was her other outfit damaged at some point?
I don't know.
So let's go ahead.
No. You know why that outfit is made? Because Gamby stole the Prometheum X because he was put in. Gamby stole the Prometheum X to incorporate it into their suits because of those weapons.
Exactly.
That was Spider-Man. I know. I don't care what the shit's really called.
So basically, Gamby was just trying to keep them ahead of the game.
Yeah, blue plutonium.
Because basically the gun manufacturer that he's working for are coming up with deadly new ways to kill Metas. So of course he's keeping the Pierce family ahead of the game. Now that we got the goods out of the way, let's talk about the bads. I want to go first. Fuck Lynn. So the reason why I say that is because we all know all the stuff with the police is out of Jefferson's control. This is just what's his name? Tobias's petty games at work, and that's what it's going for.
So I'm a heavily pushed back.
But with and it feels like everybody's being affected. Like Jefferson's name has been dug in the mud. He can't go work at the school, and he's taking out from teaching the next generation and getting these kids where they need to be. And now it finally affects Lynn, and Lynn takes it to a level that it does not need to go.
So can we backtrack a little bit?
But I just want to tell you what she does. She buzzes in the room, blames Jefferson, and then storms out. But keep going.
So we gotta backtrack a little bit because we gotta go to the opening scene with Lynn's dream,
Killing her kids
and her husband. And that irked me because it was a waste of a scene, and this is why. We see the dream, and then we find out she's discussing this with her therapist. And then her therapist is like, so it seems like you're trying to, the dream is an interpretation. She interprets the dream as Lynn is trying to change her family, but the dream is telling her is her subconscious way of telling her that they don't need to be changed. And this would be something that would be profound 5 episodes ago, but we're on the second to last episode, and not only does Lynn know this, but she makes that assumption in that whole scene. So you wasted a cold opening.
Well, not just that. Like you said, they told her this to her face like 3 or 4 episodes ago. They was like, Mom, you're a civilian. You ain't built for this.
Exactly. And I just think it's weird that it went from Lynn has an inferiority complex about herself to now Lynn needs to fix them so that they can match her. And it's like, which is it? Is it you or is it them?
Well, it's
it's the script because it's terrible, and that's why I have to push back on your criticism because I'm just like her. I'm tired of this. This has gone on long enough, and it's not just Jefferson. No one will do nothing. No one will make any kind of move that will progress their side of things forward. They just let shit happen to them, no matter how ridiculous or convoluted they are, or the fact that they don't make sense. And it's because the writing has been terrible for these last few episodes. And then when they finally want to do something, Jefferson wants to go fight Ishmael, who has nothing to do with anything.
Well, Ishmael is the immediate threat.
But is he though?
Well, going based off the storyline and how it's set up, and from what they told us, he is the immediate threat because.
Here's the thing about that. Why I agree with him. Ishmael has been around for almost the entire season. He's been in Freeland. Why is he the immediate threat
because
now?
he almost killed Thunder.
Okay, but he's been around.
Granted.
But this is their first interaction.
This is their first interaction.
I would be more concerned about the motherfucker that's trying to put you in jail on charges that you didn't commit.
Well, my thing,
that's the immediate threat.
No, it's not because he has to go through a trial. He has to go through all that stuff to deal with that.
But does he though? Because it seems like it changes every time. First it's a trial, then it's I'm going to take your power, then it's I want to fuck your wife, then it's but no, we're gonna pull her research. Like, the shit keeps changing. So yes, he is the immediate threat, if you want to call it that, not Ishmael.
No.
Like, he's been fucking with them the entire time, 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 a year, all day, every day. Ishmael showed up, clapped, I forgot that man's name.
So, Lala.
Lala, and then sat in the whorehouse for 3 episodes until he decided, I'm a beat up Thunder.
So, again, he's the immediate threat.
And it wasn't, I'm a beat up Thunder. He didn't go there to fight Thunder. He went there for other reasons.
And he ran into Thunder, clapped her up, and if it wasn't for Grace, she would have been dead.
I put it like this. Ishmael is not the immediate threat. He's a distraction.
And that's my thing.
He's the only thing that Jefferson can deal with right now.
Because honestly, the way it's set up, he can't touch Tobias. There's nothing he can do, especially after this episode, to Tobias.
And I have problems with that too. This whole episode proved that the entire season has been written so poorly because, like I said, we're on the second to last episode, and not only have the Pierces been behind the ball the entire step of the way, they haven't even come together as a team.
Well, Lynn gaslighting.
I don't think it's all in. It's not all in. Problem, but it ain't all in. It's all of them. All of them is a problem.
All of them have been fucking around.
Because Thunder has been Blackbird this entire season doing her own
thing. I have questions
Jennifer
about.
has been in atmosphere or at school.
Hold on to that. Being Andre is stupid.
Hold on to that thought because she is next.
Jefferson is either in a fight club, at home, or at school, or almost in jail.
I get the fight club thing because that's the only thing he can control. That's the only space he can control. He can't control his house. He can't control what's going on around him. That's literally the only thing.
So here's my question.
We're just throwing out that all of them have been in.
Oh, of course.
So here's my question. So then, why do you get on Lynn when she's more or less doing the same thing that Jefferson is doing?
No, Lynn has been outlashing, has been attacking everybody every time.
And you don't think she has a right to be angry?
No,
why not?
Here's my thing. She has been attacking Jefferson for everything. Every time something bad happens, she runs to
because he won't act, and he still hasn't really acted. He's going after Ishmael, and he's not the threat.
She attacked Jefferson for not killing Tobias.
I get that.
She attacked Jefferson for trying to kill Tobias.
I understand that.
So at one point, Jefferson is like, no matter what I do, you keep coming at me.
She's also upset.
Okay.
Does that count for anything?
That's cool.
So of course she's going to be like that.
That's cool, but Jefferson doesn't take it out on her when he's upset. And this happening to him.
So he more or less did that when they were in the do you remember the episode after Jennifer got changed, after the actors changed, he jumped on her for, I forget what it was.
Oh, okay, that may be true. How many times did he jump on her?
He's done it several times.
How many times has she jumped on him?
I would say several times too.
No, okay, no. Now we know that she has jumped on him way more times than anything. As a matter of fact, she started the scene off. Jefferson, you fucking up, and we like the show just started. Jefferson, this is
fair enough, but at this juncture in the game, when we on the last episode, nothing has happened.
So why is she still starting shit with Jefferson? Take 2 episodes from the
because
last.
the motherfucker won't move.
What should he be?
Like he literally will not move.
Okay, question. What should he be doing?
Go and get your balls back and take down Tobias. Like Gamby and the other boy are the only 2 people actively doing anything towards that.
Okay,
he will not move.
Okay, here's my question. You want him to move against the guy who has all the evidence on him?
At this juncture, you might as well. You have nothing to lose.
You do, your life and your family.
You already lost that. You have nothing to lose.
But here's my thing though, in his defense, if they had moved at the beginning of the season, they wouldn't be going through this. But he was grieving and stuff like that.
Which he has to do.
Yeah, but it had been an entire year.
And we don't know how long people take with loss.
That's fair, but it had been an entire year.
Again, Henderson
and he would not get in the fucking costume.
And because he felt like Henderson died was his fault.
And here's the other thing too, though. I put it on Thunder and Lightning too because, okay, your dad won't move. And what are y'all doing? Y'all fighting thugs in the street, and you know that Tobias is a threat, and you not trying to do anything.
They ain't nowhere near ready for Tobias.
They not.
So my thing is,
they weren't ready for Lala.
Because my thing is this: if they would have ran up on Tobias, not knowing that he had the Asian chick with him, they would have been got.
That's true, but none of us knew what the Asian chick was up to.
Exactly. So that's my whole thing of rushing in.
Tobias always had an ace in it.
Yeah, exactly. And my thing is rushing him would have just got them killed.
It's just.
I mean, it's better than what's going on right now.
They're alive right now.
For how long? One of them falling from the sky. One of them about to get hit by a car.
Which brings me to my next bad. I gotta give Jennifer the hot seat on this one.
She really, I know you was mad at Lynn, but Jennifer pissed me off more than anything because Lynn is coming from emotions and things happening to her. Jennifer is actively doing fucked up shit.
She is willfully stupid. They told you about this Instagram stuff. They told you about putting yourself online and stuff. What's the first thing she do?
She want to be out there in them streets.
Not only just that, if you gonna talk the talk, then your ass should have clapped every one of them cops out there. She talking about, I get them first. I'm like, well, they got you first. And you didn't do shit. You sat up there and was like, leave me alone, bitch. And then you flew away after they clipped you with their little pop gun.
But my thing is,
then you had an aneurysm and died.
Yeah, but my thing is, Gamby warned her about this.
Everybody warned her.
And they was like, okay. And my thing is, you have goggles. You could have looked in there for heat signatures. You just walked your dumb ass in there. All right, where's my Instagram?
Everybody knew that Instagram message might as well said, meet me in a trap. And she met them in a trap.
Oh, and the one that gets me is, so you just meet this boy in school. And you think, I'm going to go to him in my lightning persona. Why? Are you that thirsty?
And what really hurt, so this is my
Which means you gotta retroactively take back what you said last time about TV when she called her thirsty.
I mean, they both are thirsty.
They both thirsty.
But so was that kid working with the cops?
No. They hacked
his phone.
But how did they get his bike?
Why did they have his bike though?
They probably
because it's written bad.
It's poorly written. It's the Freeland police. We saw in episode 1 of this season that they'll just attack motherfuckers. They probably went and got him and snatched his bike. Or they probably, because Jennifer's dumb, they probably just got another, they saw how his bike looked and they just got another bike. And like, if Jennifer had been a regular girl, she would have been trafficked like a motherfucker. Because that was the first, like, I'm sorry, I like you, you like me, meet me like, in a parking garage.
You mean like she was kidnapped in season 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meet me in a parking garage, and then she and she called herself being cautious. When you looked out the door and you only saw a bike, you should have walked your ass back down the steps.
Or at least do a perimeter sweep to make sure nobody there.
Exactly.
But she is too smart to be this stupid.
So you say that, I've never seen her do anything intelligent.
Actually, you're right. Okay.
And this is my thing, because this is what irks me too. Like, it wasn't like she got shot by the police or whatever and had to recover a little bit, and then they was like, and then she didn't learn her lesson. She went into the air, was completely atomized, and they had to rearrange her body to look like a new person so that she can be alive, and she didn't learn a goddamn thing. And that's what irked me. I know she's supposed to be young and a teenager, but I would think a teenager would say
the stove is
as much as she's been through.
A teenager knows that the stove is fucking hot.
And that really, I was like, if this, wow, the CW writers kicked the door in and was like, all the black people get out, we're writing this season. That had to be the case.
Show's over.
Show's over,
she immediately takes off into the air doing the same shit.
To be slightly fair, she probably went to the atmosphere to heal up.
But
she got shot.
But here's my thing: she was having little twinges and shit before.
If you know that you got addicted to healing yourself in the atmosphere and doing it got you damn near killed,
because
go get a goddamn Band-Aid.
Because it's like a kid who did wrong after you told him wrong. It's like, damn, I can't go to my parents because they told me not to do this. Mm-hmm. It's bad teenage life.
No. It's worse than that. It's like a kid who's told don't do this and they died. And they were resurrected and said, maybe I'll do it again.
Yeah. And that's the fucked up part, because what you essentially told me, Jennifer Pierce, is we should have left you dead because you never learned the lesson that saving you. And not to mention your father almost died trying to save you. That's what really irks me about this whole episode, the Jennifer shit. Because I was like, they rearranged your body, but they did not rearrange your brain.
All I know is this. As she was falling out of the sky screaming, I was like, if she hits that pavement, I'm going to come.
There's no way to escape this. So they lost their powers.
Literally her powers has to kick back in.
They have to. She will. No one, unless CW Superman flies in, she's gone. Yeah. There ain't no rearranging molecules to get her back this time. She's gone.
Unless Grace can turn into a big bald eagle. And
she wasn't there. Shut up. Grace turned into two things: an old Asian man and a tiger. And we ain't seen that Asian man.
that Asian. My tongue. That Asian man gonna show up to save my thunder. Oh, duck.
We need to move to Thunder. More specifically, the plot surrounding her. Wow, that was a left turn for Homeboy. What the fuck was that?
The only reason he did that because he was sexually attracted and he thought this was gonna score him some brownie points.
So let me tell you, so many problems I have with that entire, not scene, but that entire plot line. So we bring this character on, he's in there, he's a doctor or whatever, and then last episode, we learn about the new treatments or whatever, and Thunder's like, well, that sounds sketchy, I'm gonna check it out. So she goes and they steal the information about those treatments. And then I guess off screen, because they never showed this, off screen, she gives him the information to look up and look into. And then in this episode, the next time we see him, he's a bum and he lost his job and shit. And he's like looking into this almost got me killed.
You ruined that man's life.
Yes. And this is a few problems I have with that. One, you ruined a civilian's life who had nothing to do with your superhero shenanigans. Two, why didn't you give this shit to Gambit and TC? Three, who are you that he just had to do this? You don't run the hospital.
Nope.
You're not the head doctor.
Nope.
You barely a doctor.
You're not fucking this man.
Exactly.
So he has no emotional attachment to him.
Why did it have to be him?
And that's my issue. That she knew that he had some form of attraction for her, and that he would be willing to do whatever.
And that has to be it, because she has no kind of authority to get him to do anything other than that.
But y'all realize, and this entire season, and this is has barely gone back to the team to give them any information or insight or.
But that goes back to what we were saying about.
She didn't show up back there, so she got her ass whooped.
They on episode 9.
Exactly.
They will not come together.
Exactly, and it's like she won't go to the team for anything, but she went to the team to get that new suit.
Yeah.
But my thing is at the end when she comes in, old dude is dead on the floor, and you like, yeah, this
And
is
she
your...
put her hands on all the evidence.
Yeah, putting her DNA all over the
I thought
spot.
the cops were about to show up before the Fast and Furious squad showed up on her.
And then she comes out there, it's like, yeah, this is your fault. All this man wanted to do was go to work and be a doctor, and you pull him into your side shenanigans because you can't be this without Blackbird, and now you don't pull him into some bull.
Who else? I'm gonna just say, well, before we jump to other people, that stripped down scene in the jail cell was unnecessary.
Oh, God.
We saw this in season 1.
It was supposed to be an homage to Jefferson's, but this one was just disgusting.
Yeah, it was gross and
This felt like
uncomfortable.
a BET lesbian thing. Like
not even that. It was like you said, it was a callback to what Jefferson experienced. But my thing was, what was the point?
Yeah, like honestly,
we know why Jefferson went through what he went through.
There was a theme and there was like levels to it.
Yeah.
Him being a black man going through the prison system, and first of all being put in jail for racial injustice.
And he was like,
this was Showtime After Dark.
Yeah.
Bad.
Honestly, when I was I didn't even watch it. I just skipped past it.
I skipped past it
because I was like, I can't do this.
I didn't skip past it because I was watching it on TV, and that's what irked the shit out of me because it kept going.
Yeah.
It goes on way too long.
It goes on unnecessarily too long.
Yeah.
And, honestly, I just have to ask myself, like, y'all don't like this character. Y'all really do not.
At this point, I don't think they like this show anymore.
I'm pretty sure this show is actually going to end on a cliffhanger, and it's never going to resolve.
Because
there's way too
it
much.
has to at this juncture, because the only person out there that can save them is Painkiller.
But it's not enough time to wrap up all the loose ends up there.
No.
You got to wrap up the police. You got to honestly
You gotta wrap up Ishmael.
But my thing is, the guy who was supposed to be taking Henderson's place ain't been doing shit this whole season. So what is he doing?
You've been missing the past 3 episodes.
Exactly, and he's
And then
supposed
he
to.
shows up, and I don't know. I'm not a sports man. I don't play sports. But do y'all play basketball in the dark by yourself?
Before they revealed who he was, I was like, who the hell is this? I was like, it's not TC, because no.
I'm glad you brought him up because he's another bad dad we need to get into before we get into the big one. So we know that the police was able to trick Jen, which whatever. But
all you needed was a string and a box.
Yeah,
and a stick.
yeah.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Sidebar, because I had a problem with that. Because TC
I'm getting to that, but like you wanted to sidebar me to say the shit that I was gonna say. So we know that they did that. How did TC not detect that when he was the one that answered the phone?
Well, my whole thing is TC stuff seems to be sometimey because there's been a lot of stuff in this series like he should have been caught. Like he should have been able to figure out that the police have been pulling the profile on Jen this entire time. Like it's a bunch of information out there that TC should have got, and we sitting here like, okay, I guess they need this in order to push the plot forward.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly,
it's like they knew this character was broken, and so they nerfed him and didn't even explain
It's
why.
not like this did a Ragman.
Because the Tobias shit that he was doing, where like he'd hiding the money. I'm like, how can you not find the money? Like, this is digital. What are you doing? That is your thing.
I got a bigger issue with the police chief who's putting all these resources and stuff into tracking down a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, you the chief of police, but you so petty. And you know Lightning didn't do this. So that shows me you corrupt. And that you out there just to pin this on another minority. And we still at this stage in the game after getting over Markovia invasion.
And she a minority doing this to a minority.
I mean, last we saw, she's on Tobias' side, basically.
Yeah, but my thing is she's not doing any real police work. Her whole thing has been, I need to get Lightning.
Like,
you
there's
do
literally-
know that there was just a shootout between Yo Cops and Lala. You do know there's still drugs and stuff going through freely.
You know, there's a ghetto ninja running around hacking people up. Like, all of this goes under the fucking radar.
Because she has a hard on for Lightning.
And the funny part about it is Lightning been MIA for a little bit.
Exactly. And then
But every day she clocks in, I gotta find that bitch like
but then the one time Lightning comes back, she does it because she's trying to because she's thirsty.
Yeah.
Oh, I met this boy in school, so I need to suit up as Lightning. You cannot be that stupid.
And I'm sorry, like when it comes to superhero content, I believe in stretching the imagination. But no, you look like Jennifer with that piece of mask on, and you look like Jennifer without it. He can't be this dumb.
Yeah.
You changing your voice doesn't.
Well, she's an idiot, so she has to date an idiot. The shit doesn't work.
So I'm gonna do it. Oh, go ahead.
No, speaking of that as well, so you were talking about Jennifer getting trafficked, so the police could track her. Apparently Tobias was tracking her. Ishmael tracked her. Like, yeah, like
Who can't find her?
Yeah. And we forgot to mention that he tracked her, and I'm like, so you're not gonna whoop her ass now? Why?
Because he know he can't deal with her. But I do realize there's one thing we haven't thrown in the bad category, and that's Painkiller.
Because he wasn't bad to me, and I was gonna mention
He's been the only
Painkiller.
saving grace in this fucking show.
Yeah,
Yeah. So retroactive good Painkiller.
yeah. He was a retroactive.
No, I don't count that because that's just padding. That's
Well, like
how-
that, yeah, that whole thing was literally like from the commercial where he came in to where it ended, and then it went back on commercial. I was like, you just wanted us to forget the stupid shit that happened.
It was literally like, we need 15 minutes to fill this episode. Go get Painkiller.
But at the same time, he's actually moving. I won't even say the plot forward. He's trying to resolve the plot.
Yeah.
He's the only one doing what they're supposed to do. Because even Gamby has more or less stopped. He made the suits and that's it. He not even smashing a homegirl. No
My
more.
thing is,
Well, he's trying to keep the DEG shit off their page.
my thing is,
It's like, if y'all hit these streets, y'all dead.
yeah, honestly, Gamby has been the only person about their business this whole entire season.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for him, the Pierces would have been dead.
Mhm.
But let's go ahead and get to the nit and grit.
So I was gonna say one quick thing.
Go ahead.
If you notice, and this is a bad for me. So we prop up Painkiller being in this episode, and then we have Ghetto Ninja in this episode. So when this episode came on, I thought they was gonna fight, right?
I did too.
We know why that didn't happen.
Why is that?
You would have lost.
Because Ghetto Ninja can't fight.
That's true.
So hold on, let's go ahead and get
And
to.
he not beating pain.
Let's go ahead.
Meta, no meta.
And that's what pisses me off about that character. Because if he was really about it, that's the meta you go after.
So let's go ahead and get to the finish line so we can wrap this up. All right, Tobias Wells.
So what is the fucking plan?
So before we get to the plan, the way he was shot this entire episode was, I won't even say lazy. It was just bad.
It was
like
goofy.
It was lazy. It was
was
cringy.
goofy.
It was gross.
Yeah, he
because
turned into cackling supervillain.
My thing is he sexualized his sister for a good 5 minutes, which
And-
made
He turned into a super monologue, like you said, cringy kind of villain. They did the the camera panned up
He
kind of
did
thing.
this shit, and I'm
Yeah,
like, what
I'm
the
like,
fuck
who are you doing it for?
Like,
Like they really
Who
stopped.
directed that scene?
They really stopped giving a fuck. But ultimately, apparently, his end game is to stop all the meta in Freeland.
okay, so
Sure.
let's analyze why this is dumb.
Don't he got metas on his
Dr.
squad?
Polaris is a meta, so he's useless because I just know he can't fight. I feel it. I just know without the powers he can't fight
He has
for
never
shit.
thrown a punch in his life.
Like when he gave that monologue about my mommy killed my daddy, I was like, and there's my respect for you right there. It's gone. So I know you can't physically fight. You're all about the powers. He'll get clapped quickly. So you disable the one dude that could protect you, and that's to assume that you even need protecting because like it don't look like they getting out of this. Let's
Here's
be
my
real.
question. And I ask before I go down this line, I have one question. Are Tobias's powers meta based?
And that's why I say no, because he needs the serum to keep activating them. What kind of fucked up metagene do you have where you need this specific serum to keep giving you powers?
So,
you can't be a meta.
What is the serum based off of?
Well, we don't know specifically because guess Dr. Jakes was experimenting on him.
Okay.
And this was he didn't get this until the 80s or something like that.
Okay.
So he wasn't born a meta.
Gotcha.
He was experimented on.
Okay, that's all I wanted to check on. So honestly, I'm like, in the world of guns and stuff, I don't need meta powers to kill you. Dude. all that. I mean,
Captain America proved that.
exactly. Like, so he cuts all the Pierce's powers off. All right, cool. But
Did he just cut their powers specifically off?
No, he cut-
TV's powers went out
He
too.
cut all Meta's powers off.
Okay, how did he do this?
So basically, he
machine.
set what's called up for the okie doke.
And that's why
Explain the plan to me.
So the plan was to have her extract old girl's powers,
Mm-hmm,
and then he pretty much was gonna take her powers and pretty much put the substance in the machine and pretty much
amplify it
and pulsate it out across a distance so that anybody in this sphere can no longer use their powers. Basically, he used Lynn's idea to create this.
How would he know to do that?
No. My question is this liquid based, gas based, energy? What is it?
We don't know.
See, that's why this plan is stupid.
Well,
to me.
actually, no,
And
because-
how far of a range is this?
'Cause
Does this affect the Flash?
Well, here's the thing. We don't know, but my thing is this. It's actually because we know, he know as soon as, because he knew what her powers were. He sent old girl in there to get tested to find out what her metagene was. And then Glenn took the bait.
And he said, I know Lynn is going to do what Lynn is going to do. And that's why I was saying, a few episodes back, it's like, I don't know what she's going to do, but he knows she's going to do it.
And he did what...
And Christian called bullshit on it, and I agree with him because we weren't let in on the plan.
And like clockwork, she synthesized her blood. So she synthesized her powers so that somebody without powers can take it. He said, "Okay, cool. I got that research.
Now I got your lab. Now I got your research.
Now I can duplicate it."
So here's my question. How much of this shit did she synthesize? Because
It doesn't matter. Her research is still there.
He just needed the research to be done.
Yeah, because that's why they took all her notes.
She's the only
geneticist
geneticist that knows the metagene stuff.
And once she unlocked the code, it's easy to replicate if I follow your notes.
Mm-hmm. And if I have some kind of passable knowledge of what I'm doing. And that's what irks me, though, because where Lynn didn't have the notes for the machine, where did the machine come from, and how did you know the machine will work?
All the machine is doing is amplifying what's already there.
Okay, how do you know that it works?
It's science fiction, man. We throw money at it.
and
he got unlimited resources.
So he was at his sister's mausoleum.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because he nasty.
Because I was under the impression he was trying to bring her back to life.
No, he was using that as a base of operation to test the machine.
He was being poetic. That's all it was.
He was like,
that scene was written and filmed so badly that I did not understand that that's what was going on.
Yeah,
and I was
agree.
Trying to pay attention as hard as possible.
That's where I went too, because he was standing over the body
and he was holding it and I was like, is he trying to lift the thing
and the machine was right next to her body, so I was like, is he bringing her back with energy or something like that. I didn't get it until I saw their power shut off, and I was like, oh, that's what he's
if
doing.
he wanted to legitimately bring his sister back, all he had to do was fucking go grab Lala and interrogate him to figure out how he came back.
Yeah,
But you know that's too much like right.
he already knows how it's happened. He knows about the program.
Then all he had to do was put his sister in the program.
Whatever.
Oh, no.
As you can see, this
was shit.
The season.
This was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
We got 3 banger seasons from them, and they decide to crap their way towards the finish line because they stopped caring.
And it wasn't even a subtle slide. Like it shot the
it
bed.
dipped immediately.
Like this went into Arrow territory.
And here's the thing: there was one thing you could have done that would have improved this season tremendously, and at the very least make it mediocre at best. You only had to do one thing.
Kill it.
No, not bring back Tobias.
Yes.
Because he is the crux of the problem.
New villain.
Do a new villain, because let's be real, you would have still had your issues with Lynn, but they wouldn't have been as amplified as they were with this season. But also at the same time, the problems that we saw with all the other characters were amplified as well.
It's a little deeper than that. My problem is this. You gave us Gravedigger. Gravedigger was a grade A character and a grade A villain. You gave us somebody who commanded the screen, and then as soon as he left, okay, now Freeland is freed. What happens? You literally digress like 5 years where the police is still beating ass, nobody has learned anything, and everybody's still like it literally dropped back to season 1. And I'm sitting there like, we're doing this shit over again?
Yeah, and my thing is, if you wanted fans that have been riding with the show since season 1, if you wanted them to have some type of payoff, we needed to see the evolution of not only the characters but the city as well. Like, things should have been better when the season started. Like police, and I know it's fiction, so you can do it. Like, you didn't have to have the police going ham like they did.
Well, not just that. You pretty much Grace and Anissa's relationship started back over too.
Yeah.
As soon as they came back.
Exactly.
Jefferson and Lynn pretty much went back to their divorce state at the beginning of this season, and I'm like, you guys are literally just repeating things, and that's why I'm like, they don't care anymore. And honestly, we don't care either. So we got one more episode to go. You know what? It's one more log on this shit pile, and let's go ahead and light it up. I literally think there's nothing that can be done in the season finale that will save this season, because honestly, all of it's been trash. You know, and you guys have been riding with us. You know how we loved Black Lightning. It was one of our pinnacle shows, but they gave up on it so hard that we can't help but to scrub it. Thank you guys for joining us on this ride for the Justice Review. We've given everything that we can from the show, but we can't give any more. Like and subscribe. We're going to do one more, but until next time.
They got to show me something good.
You are not going to get it. It's too many.
They got too much shit to wrap up, and it's not all gonna be wrapped up
unless you get a 2-hour long episode this weekend. We ain't getting it.
Like, how you can't just wipe away Lynn being in jail like that.
And
Like
Jefferson's many issues.
Honestly, it's going to end with Painkiller solving all the problems. In that way it'll transition to a show. Peace.
And I wasn't lying when I said I think CW execs kicked the door in and said, everybody out.
It feels like black people are not writing for this show.
I don't think they are.
They literally said, Supergirl season 2 writers get in there.
Because when I made that joke about the Lynn strip scene being a bad BET porno, like, I'm
that
not,
was horrific.
because
It served no purpose.
the woman that did it, like, they made it so sexualized, because she was like, nah, I'm gonna need you to strip down.
and then they did like a panning scene going backwards,
I
and like the cop's ass was literally like, it was like they wanted us to be turned on, but I'm like, you're in a grimy dungeon or anything like that. The music is all wrong. It's Lynn you're sexually violating, and she doesn't even look like she's having fun.
Not even the
Like,
implication. One cop came in and took Lynn. One police officer just came to your house in the night and snatched you. That
All of it was.
the implications of that are really fucking weird. And you know what makes it even weirder?
What were the charges again? The violation of human rights or something like that?
Human rights
I
violation.
have a bigger issue with this.
What?
I have a bigger issue with this whole thing. And this deals with Freeland, because at this point I'm like, fuck Freeland too. So, we know Jefferson has been a pillar of the community for over 30 plus years.
The same way they ride for Black Lightning, they need to ride for Jefferson.
Exactly. Now, my thing is, they rolled for old dude when he got shot, and they had a march for him.